like your course, it's over. We'll get your money back. You'll say, okay. They all sign documents. I don't know even why. They all sign documents. We call them report cards, saying it's wonderful. It's great. So when they come to settle, I say, I'm not going to settle. And you know, the problem with settlers, when you settle, everybody sues you. I watch these banks. Do you ever notice the banks? They get sued over and over again. They have executives at the banks, which is ridiculous. They're being paid $50 million a year, some of these guys. And they always settle. And I say to them, you're getting paid all this money. Why don't you fight the case? Well, it's the government. I said, you should fight the case. You should fight it right to the end. And you make maybe a settlement down the end. But the problem is, when you settle cases, everybody keeps suing you. Does that make sense? When they have to go through a case that takes years and years, like this case has been going on for 4 or 5 years, when they have to go through the pain of really going through a case and really fight, I don't get sued very often. The reason I don't is they say, oh, Trump will never settle. They like to go to the settlers. They sue them. 2 days later, they have a lawsuit settled. They put a lot of money in their pockets, the lawyers. So anyway, so Trump University, I'm going to win that case. It's a civil case, not a big deal. I look forward to going to trial. I'm going to win that case. But they don't talk about all of these massive buildings that I have. They don't talk about the city I built on the west side of Manhattan, which was a tremendous success. They don't talk about all of the deals we're doing all over the country and all over the world, actually. You know, Turnberry in Scotland, etc. They don't talk about Doral, where right now we have the World Golf Championships. You saw that, the Cadillac World Golf Championship. Sponsored by Cadillac. So right now, and I'm supposed to be there, and I'm here with you. I'm supposed to be there. I am right now. I had it marked for 2 years. I have right now. So we have the Cadillac World Golf Championships. Rory McIlroy, everybody's there, right? Phil's doing well, by the way. Phil Mickelson, he's doing great, second place. So I'm supposed to be in Miami at my place watching these great golfers play golf. And here I am in Michigan, and I love it. Okay? I love it. So we're going to talk about cars. One thing, this guy Romney came out yesterday. I mean, the hatred he has, the hatred, the jealousy, the hatred, it's hard to believe. Now look, let me just tell you. Now I know you guys should like him, right? I mean, you should like him, but no. Remember the 47%? Remember when he made the statement 47%, and in one speech he lost, thank you. In one speech, he lost 47% of the voters. Can you believe it? He's not a smart guy. This is not a smart guy. But anyway, so he came out yesterday, and the reason he doesn't like me is that I said you shouldn't run because you're a joke artist. You ran against Obama 4 years ago. It was a race that should have been an easy win. He made a fool of himself in the second and third debate. I don't know what happened to him. Honestly, I don't know what happened to him. He didn't campaign. What the hell did happen? Does anyone know? He didn't campaign. And you know, the sad part is I really helped the guy. I mean, I gave him a lot of money. I raised a lot of money. I had 2 fundraisers in my apartment. In fact, one of them was such a rainy day that it ruined the carpets of my apartment. Everyone's coming in. I had hundreds of people. My carpets were ruined. I think I'm going to send him a bill for new carpet. But here's a disloyal guy. See, he's an elitist. To me, I don't consider him elite, but, you know, hey, I don't consider him elite because I'm much richer than he is. He's worth, you know, I have a store that's worth more money than him. It was a very interesting. I jokingly said that because I don't like Romney. I don't like him. He thinks he's hot stuff. And I hate people that think they're hot stuff and they're nothing. Okay, nothing. But I was in Iowa. And I love Iowa. And by the way, do I love New Hampshire? Do I love South Carolina? And do I love Nevada? And do I love as you saw, the SEC, we had the big night by far. Everyone's saying landslide for Trump. And now on Tuesday, and by the way, over the weekend, we're going to do really well with Maine and lots of other places. And I think that's going to be great. And then Tuesday comes. But what happens is with Mitt, when you run, when people entrust you, you people are entrusting somebody to carry the banner. because you don't want to have Hillary. Hillary will be a disaster. Right? She will be a disaster. So when they entrust you, when you're given the trust of millions of people to go out, you got to work hard. You got to win. And if you don't win, that's okay. But Romney didn't work hard. Romney disappeared the final month. And say what you want about Obama. He was on Jay Leno. He was on David Letterman. He was all over the place. And I used to say to the people, where is Romney? What happened to Romney? Oh, is that a problem? All right, get the hell out of here, folks. Get him out. Out. Get him out. All right, let's go. Get him out of here. You never know. If I say it too rough, look at all the media back there. Look. Oh, look, the cameras are turned. I love it. They turned the cameras. Oh, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. By the way, I have to tell you about the media. They are the most dishonest people. They're worse than Rubio, and they're worse than Cruz. They are worse than Little Marco, and they're worse than Lion Ted Cruz, I'm telling you. Lion Ted. What's your name? My name's Lion Ted Cruz. I lie about anything. This guy, I've got to tell you, he goes and he holds up the Bible, and then he lies. It's the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. It's an unbelievable, he holds up the Bible, and here's the story. In South Carolina, that was supposed to be an easy victory for Cruz. I guess 67% are evangelical, right? 67% evangelical. I won in a landslide, and I won the evangelicals by a lot. Now we have Jerry Falwell Jr. from Liberty University, who sees everybody because they all come through Liberty University. Everybody goes there, makes a speech, and spends time with them. And Jerry Falwell Jr. endorsed me. I think it was a big endorsement. I will tell you. I think it was a really big. We have many, many ministers and pastors that endorse me. But I win with the evangelicals because you know what? The evangelicals, they probably know I'm not perfect. But they know I'm the best for security. I'm the best for the military. I'm the best for taking care of the vets. I'm the best for knocking the hell out of ISIS. And these other guys, believe me, they don't have a clue. They talk. They're politicians. All talk, no action. So anyway, just to finish off. So Romney's a bitter man. He looks like a bitter man. He's attacking really your front runner by a lot. And he wanted to run. And he was going to run. And I put up with it long enough. And I said, look, you can't let him run. He's a joke artist. He choked the last time. And do you ever see in sports? Now, unfortunately, some of you may be choke artists. So be quiet about it. But don't worry about it. But do you ever see in sports? Just keep it to yourselves. Don't tell anybody. But do you ever see in sports? Once a choker, always a choker. When you miss the kick one year, you miss the kick the next year. Once a choker, always a choker. And that's the way it goes. The Jack Nicklaus's of the world, Jack was great. The Jack Nicklaus's of the world and the Tom Brady's. I know some of you might not love Tom, but I do. In Massachusetts, I got close to 50%. I think I got over 50% of the vote. And you know what happened? Tom Brady was saying all these great things. Trump is a winner. He's my friend, and he is my friend. He's a great guy. But when Tom said that, I have to say, in New England, you cannot have a better reference than the great Tom Brady. Do we agree? You just can't. So anyway, we won Massachusetts with record numbers. I got 50,000 more votes than Mitt Romney, who was from there and ran for governor and the whole thing. So, although he did lose very badly when he ran for the Senate. He got killed. So here's the story. Get out of here. Get out. Out, out, out. That was the meekest protester that I've ever seen. We said, get out of here, and he just, okay. That's the kind of protester we like, right? He's okay. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. I always say that, because every once in a while we say, knock him, and I get killed by these characters. You know, like they're legit, right? Like they're legit. You know, we had a case where Ted Cruz was asked about waterboarding, and he couldn't answer the question because, you know, he was politically correct. And in all fairness to him, it was essentially, what do you think of waterboarding? Would you approve it? Would you this? Would you that? And he didn't want to get into it. And I understand that because he wants to be politically correct. You know, they're allowed to chop off the heads of people, including ourselves, but we're not allowed to waterboard. Do you think they think we are the dumbest, weakest people in the world as they sit there? So they asked Ted Cruz about waterboarding, and you can see his answer 2 debates ago, and he's going like, waterboarding, what do I say? What do I say? It's so vicious, it's so violent. You know, sort of the minimal, I don't know, I'm sure it's not pleasant, but it's minimal. So he didn't want to get into it. He didn't sort of answer the question. They turned, what do you think, Mr. Trump? So I said, well, throughout the Middle East, they're chopping off heads of Christians. They're chopping off heads of people. Anybody gets in the way. They're drowning 30, 40 people at a time in heavy steel cages. As far as I'm concerned, waterboarding is absolutely fine, but we should go much further. And I got a standing ovation. Standing ovation. Right? Standing ovation. No pollster told me that. You know, these guys can't think without a pollster. So a lot of times I'll go up in the debates and I'll give an answer. I'll give an answer from the heart. I give an answer, whatever it is. Hey, look, if it doesn't work out, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to go back to my old job. That was a good job. You know, you build a great company. You saw I did the filing, and the filing shows great company, tremendous. And you know what? And I mention that for one reason, because it's the kind of thinking we need as our leader. We have to straighten out the 19 trillion in debt, all of the problems that we have. We have a lot of problems to straighten out. So anyway, so Mitt is a very sad guy. He's getting absolutely killed. If you look on the internet, people are disgusted by him. And it's a pretty sad thing. You know, it's very interesting though. So I was in Iowa, and the Des Moines Register, which honestly is a terrible newspaper. Terrible. Horrible. Not that because it's very liberal, which it is, but it's a terrible newspaper. Third rate. It'll be out of business soon. So will the New York Times be out of business soon. So a lot of it. I love it. But I love it. When I hear the bad ones go out of business. But the New York Times is in serious trouble. It'll be out of business soon. So here's the story, which is sort of amazing. The Des Moines Register comes to interview me, and and they ask me about Mitt Romney. And he's nasty. You know, he's a nasty guy. He's like a spoiled brat. So I said, they said, well, he's very wealthy. I said, what do you mean he's wealthy? I have a store that's worth more than him. So they wrote, I have a store, but they didn't believe me. So they came the following day, we get a call. You don't have a store. This is an exaggeration. You don't have a store that's worth. Well, he's supposed to be worth $150 million. So I said, what do you mean I don't? Here, take it. They went out and retained 3 appraisers. And they looked at the store, the Gucci store on 5th Avenue and 56th Street. Right? Which I own. I said, just look at the store. Don't look at the building, which I own. Just look at the store. Just the store on the corner of 5th Avenue and 56th Street. So they said, they call up, they said, you're right. It was worth between 400 million and 1.4 billion. So they did a story on my store. Now, nobody talks about that. They talk about Trump University. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about these great buildings that I have all over, the great jobs we're doing all over the world. They talk about, you know, whatever they can find. And I've always been told, as a rich person,